is Matthew Blair Vorsatz. Blair, please come forward to accept your award. Blair will now offer the Regent's address.
Thank you, Professor McNeilis, and welcome faculty, fellow students, and parents. I would like to talk to you about America's most pressing deficit, not the trade deficit or the budget deficit, but rather the foreign language deficit. In an era of increasing global interconnectivity, our US-centric school system continues to balance its budget by cutting foreign language offerings and eliminating foreign language requirements. As students of language and linguistics, I think we can all appreciate the value of foreign language, a means of bridging not only language gaps, but also cultural gaps. With the rise of the East and the stagnation of the West, English will no longer be the only language needed to interact with the rest of the world. Our love of language will enable us to better connect with, not just communicate with, the people of the world. I fell in love with Mandarin Chinese because it is a language of beauty, history, and embedded culture. While studying abroad in China, a professor once asked me, "Why have you invested so much time and energy into studying such a difficult language?" I responded with a Chinese proverb I recently learned: 学一门语言就是多一个观察世界的窗户. To learn a language is to have one more window from which to look at the world. Not only does the Chinese language help me to understand how China views the world, but studying Chinese culture through language helps me to revise the way in which I view the world. China, 中国, literally means Middle Kingdom. China has historically been the world's preeminent superpower, accounting for 1/3 of the global economy as late as 1750. In this light, a US-centric world appears to be a recent development, underscoring that the global balance of power is constantly changing. Moreover, globalization has increased the interconnectivity of the world, converting economic linkages into economic interdependence. In this interconnected world, the US and China cannot afford conflict. If one economy suffers, they both do. But will conflict be avoided only by economic necessity? Language offers us the ability to bridge our differences through more than just mutually assured destruction. We can use language to cultivate genuine international relationships, genuine international friendships, on the basis of cultural understanding. As I found living in China, speaking in someone's native tongue reflects respect for the culture. This respect always ensured that I could out-haggle my English-speaking peers at flea markets. But more importantly, this linguistic mutual respect offers us the ability to recharacterize our relationships with other countries. If President Obama could communicate with President Xi in Chinese, I am sure that negotiations would take on a much friendlier tone, as simply the effort to learn Chinese signifies an investment in friendship. But China is not the only country attaining such global importance. In 2013, developing countries, for the first time ever, constituted over 50% of global GDP. Recent global economic growth has been led by developing countries like Brazil, Russia, China, and India. What does this mean? That we are headed towards a multipolar world. That those speaking Portuguese, Spanish, Russian, Turkish, even Indonesian, will serve to link the developing countries to the developed. And as US hegemony erodes, Japanese, Korean, Arabic, French, and German will become increasingly essential to interlink the developed countries. Yes, globalization has facilitated an unprecedented degree of global communication. And yes, English serves as a common language medium, but relying solely on English asserts Western, particularly American, hegemony, ignoring, even disrespecting cultural differences. A multipolar world looms large, and I believe that students of language are best prepared to add depth to these international relationships, adding trust, friendship, and cultural understanding to relationships previously defined by economic convenience or necessity. We can accomplish much by anticipating this future. Wayne Gretzky, arguably the greatest hockey player to ever play the game, once explained the key to his success. He said, "I skate to where the puck is going to be, not to where it has been." The unipolar world of American hegemony, with English as the gold standard, is the past. The future is a multipolar world, which will require a diversity of languages to break down the barriers of mistrust and cultural differences, to establish a truly international community based on mutual understanding and respect. Economic relationships can change with the tide, but relationships built on friendship can weather even the harshest of storms. As we leave Georgetown, let us all continue to skate to where the puck is going. Language will be the future of the world. Let us begin seizing the future today. Thank you.